What's up, Howie? World Cup? Are you what? I'm confused by what you're saying, Howie. Are you saying I should be watching the World Cup, or are you upset for me for streaming during the World Cup? I need slightly more information there, bud. Hi, Sass Queen. Yes, sir. Okay, I asked multiple questions, so yes, sir. I'm not entirely sure that your sure is too, but I'm assumed that means you're happy with me. I don't even know who's playing. Gonna lurk, finish my book. Okay, let's go, Sass Queen. Oh, let's go. Boom, boom, boom. What's up, Flycatcher? How you doing? You watch USA and Paraguay in 30 minutes. I'm not gonna. Howie, I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna. Will we beat Paraguay? How are we doing against Paraguay? Flycatcher, how you doing? What's up, Dave Phillips? Also, how's my frame rate? Am I, especially on Twitch? Twitch, last time we were like absolutely dropping tons of frames. But I don't know how that is. I am simul streaming. Hello. Indeed. We kind of were like, there's no real point not to, so we're just gonna do it. At least for things like this. You are dropping frames. Yeah. Is it both on YouTube and Twitch, or is it just? Can someone on YouTube let me know? Because on Twitch, last time it was just on Twitch, and I also don't know what to do. I think I might just need to like. Oh, I don't want to do this. I might just need to run Ethernet all the way to my I either need to run it all the way to my computer in here, or I need to just bring my router in here and then have everything else running off of Wi-Fi. YouTube seems fine. Yeah, okay, so if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to go watch on YouTube, because Twitch seems to not handle it. It seems to be YouTube. It seems to be fine, and I don't know why. I will need to change my, I think my, I also have like no idea like what my settings are here. No, my bitrate and stuff is not super high, so. I also think, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would highly suggest everyone watch on YouTube. Maybe I should just start streaming on just YouTube, because it seems to be fine on YouTube. All right, already painting some more Dark Tower. Also, let me know if that music is too loud. Like last time. So last time we were painting these guys, these Momos or Mormos. We did these last time. They turned out pretty good. I think these guys really showed. They always do like a Zenithal Prime, which again is black with like white. Hey, what's up, Reg? How you doing, bro? And these Mormos really show the power of a Zenithal Prime with something like contrast paints. They look really good. And they were super quick, especially because these guys are like almost all skin. So like pretty creepy. So today we're gonna be painting these Oryx. So these butts. So it's gonna be these guys. So So the thing about these guys is there is a lot on the mini that's just not in the picture. So we're just going to have to like guess, I guess. And it's also one of those things like this is the problem with like a lot of board game minis is like they're just not as high quality as something like Games Workshop. Of course, it's not their Games Workshop's entire purpose is making models. But there's just a lot of stuff on here where like I just can't tell what it is. And I'm like, is this part of like their cloak? Is it part of their pants? Is it part of their body? Like I don't really know. What's up, Time Roller? I don't really know. And so we're gonna have to kind of guess. So like I did last time, I kind of painted whatever. I mostly painted one here. So basically, it also one of the problems with Dark Tower is everything you can see is very, very muted and very, okay, I need to turn this down. This is so loud for me specifically. Okay, sorry. It was so loud for me. Okay, it's better. It was just like absolutely blowing me out over here. Okay, sorry about that. So the problem with, well, this isn't a problem. What expansion are these from? I don't know. One of the expansions. I think the first one, whatever it was called. Alliances, maybe, or something like that. But everything in this game is very muted. The art is very cool and very beautiful, but it's very, very muted. And like everything's kind of the same color. It's all like black and gray and very, very desaturated brown. So like these guys are basically all the same color. They're just like varying shades of gray. So we're going to kind of follow this while mixing it up. So obviously their belts and stuff are going to make brown, and I'm going to make them probably more saturated than they should be. I'm also making their skin have more brown in it than it does in that picture, because I'm like, otherwise the whole thing's just going to be gray and there's just kind of no point. I didn't quite finish this one, so we'll finish it a little bit later. But and then I'm using some like very like blue gray for like a little bit of pants and the top of their skull. So this is also one of the things you can see in the art here. Like it looks like they're wearing like a skull mask, but then this is like their actual head, and they have like Larry David hair out the back. Everything in this game also has like white hair. Just I know how you do it, because I am very, very, very slowly making my way through my Marvel United collection. So unfortunately not. And so, but the thing is like, so the way this is sculpted and the way this is drawn are like not the same. Like the way it's sculpted, it looks like their entire head is just a skull, which to be fair, trying to get this much little detail in a mini like this is difficult. So we're painting them kind of different. We're painting them basically kind of like they almost have like a armor head, which you can see is that kind of like very desaturated, like blue gray. And then I'm leaving the face basically as kind of like a white skull is basically what we're going to do. Because again, like it's one of the things that you're looking at and I'm like, I don't know what's what on this mini. And so we're basically going to have to guess as well as we can. These guys were simple because they basically have like a tabard on, this like weird helmet thing, and then it's just like their skin and like their bangles. Also, most of the art has some kind of gold filigree and gold like accents. So we're going to, I think on their scabbard back here, put gold on the spots that are unpainted, because I kind of want all the minis to have a little bit of gold on them, because there's gold kind of everywhere in this game, with the exception of like the wolves. There's like these wolves, like I don't think we'll put gold on them, because like what would that even be? But yeah, so we're gonna do the like tunic and the bottom tunic, what the heck it's called, not their pants, probably last because it's black. We're gonna go and do their skin first. And so what I had done is taken Basilicanum Gray and then added a little bit of this Guilliman Flesh, because I want it to be, because again, if you look at the picture, their skin is basically just gray. but I want it to not just be gray because it's just gonna be the whole thing's just gonna be gray and boring. So we're gonna take a little bit of liberties, but that is what is our right to do. I also brought our nice camera home so that it actually autofocuses. So it should be a lot better viewing experience. A gold glint in their eyes for the wolves. Ooh, maybe gold eyes. A lurking dragonfly. That's a good idea. I like that. I'm painting these for Tall David. These friends are very gold. So they're getting our gold quota right now. All right, so we're probably gonna do like not quite 50-50, but kind of close actually. And we have 5 of these to paint, so I kind of need to. Kind of need a boogie. But I hope everyone's having a good day. Should I do this? Nah, it's too much. I'm also gonna try and keep my head out of the frame. It's gonna be difficult. My camera is like right here, right off the screen, and then my mic is right here. So I'm gonna try and keep my head out of the frame. But there's a lot of times my head probably will be peeking in like this, and y'all just gonna have to get a very close-up view of my dome. Because it's quite difficult to keep my head out of the dang frame. But the good thing is the autofocus is working, and it's a much, much newer and better camera. So hopefully the viewing is slightly better, and hopefully everyone's having a good Friday. I was having a great Friday. Mike and I went disc golfing at a new disc golf course. And it was a big one. It was 18 holes. Most of disc golf courses around us are only 9 holes. And that was good. The only problem is my way back to the studio, my car battery started hating me and dying, basically. So this part right here, like you can see right here, right? We got clearly the tunic part, but then there's this part right here that I'm touching. I don't know what that is. Is that part of their shirt? Is that part of their body? Like, I just kind of need to make a decision and paint it. The other one, I painted it black. I feel like I'm just going to paint it as part of their body. This is like one of those situations where I'm just like, I don't know what this is. So we're just going to have to make an executive decision and say that this is part of their body. Because let's be honest, no one will notice or care. But yeah, my freaking battery died. And I think it was just because I was like blasting my AC and my battery is older and my alternator couldn't keep up. So I had to like stop, let it rest for a bit, and then have someone jump my car. It sucked. Because I'm like, cool, I can't really afford a new, like, to have to do a massive fix on my car right now. So hopefully it's just my battery. Raid. Oh, we got a raid. Hello. What's up, Crazy Maker Nerd? Thank you for that raid. Appreciate you. How are y'all doing? We're painting a little bit of Return to Dark Tower today. Doing the Oryx, these butts right here. For some reason, it's not really focusing on it, but those guys. What's up, Awesome Minis? Just been painting Voidbirth. Cool. Heck yeah. Yeah, we're doing a little commission painting for a friend. Trying to get this bad boy painted so they can play it. And yeah, just trying to boogie oogie. I do hope the stream was good. All right, so because of these contrast paints, I don't want them to pool too much. They're going to darken stuff a little too much, so we need to make sure we're working quick and then going back and then removing what we don't want. Oh, 1:45 in the UK. Well, have a good night. Sleep well. Ooh, Howie's heading to Cayman Islands tomorrow? That's crazy. That should be fun. Okay. So that's going to be like their skin, which I actually think looks nice. It's still that kind of gray, but it's got enough brown in it where it looks... It's clearly not just straight up gray, which I think is good. Okay, so now... What now? I guess we'll do all the white parts. So the white parts... I'm trying to decide if I should even paint the skull. So the white parts, I'm basically going to do the gloves, because they have like these gloves on. And then the skull, the front skull part. The skull part, because like, I don't know if I will paint the skull part. So then my question is do I even need to paint the gloves? Because they're already going to be white. Does it matter? I think I might just not paint the white at all, which means we're going to be moving on to that kind of gray blue that we're going to do on their like weird skull cap thing that I don't really know what it is. And then their little bit of pantaloons their little bit of pantaloons popping at the bottom. Sorry, I just headbutted my camera. Ooh. Bringing Hot Streak, Panda Royale, Flip 7 Faraway, and Phantom Ink. All right, let's go. We played Panda Royale again when we were in Iceland, Howie, and man, that game is great. I see why you like it. Oh, you know what I should do? This is silly. I realize I'm like, I should daisy chain these. I need to paint the skin on all these guys. I'll do this blue first, because it's only going to be a little bit. But I was just like, oh, this is silly. So again, I'm painting this kind of blue-gray mostly just to like very slightly differentiate it from the white skull. And the skull, yeah, I think I was going to keep this way because like it doesn't need more definition because it already has the Zenithal Prime, which has as much definition as you can hope for with something like a contrast paint anyway. So it kind of doesn't like matter. So yeah, so now I mean it's hard to tell because this is like, so is this the lowest setting? No, it's not. Is that better? Maybe. I think I might do that. All right, hold on. Sorry. We just want it to be slightly different enough where you can tell that it's different. And then that's kind of it. Because again, they're just kind of... My only problem with the painting these is they're all cool minis. They're just all so monotoned that I'm just like, I kind of know what to do with them without like just completely painting them not like their box art. Because this is not my game. This is our dear friend Crystal Dax's game. I'm not going to like go super rogue and give this guy like orange pants. You know what I mean? Also just kind of wouldn't work for the setting, you know? All right, so that's them. We did their pantaloons and their skin. So now I'm going to go through to the skin for all these friends. I realized I need to kind of, you know, assembly line this so it goes faster. Too much. And again, this part, honestly, you know what? That's part of their tunic. That's okay. We're not going to worry about it because this is why we're doing the black last, because the black is just going to cover up whatever. So we don't have to worry about it that much. Okay, wick off some of that excess. We don't need quite that much down there. All right, let's do these legs. And this whole process here is basically going to be a giant experiment for me to try and paint faster for once. And so far it has been working, using like contrast paints and utilizing the Zenithal Prime I did, which again is a black prime with white from above, which is what gives it its original definition. With the contrast paints, you can do some really great stuff, which is again why I think mini painting is a incredibly accessible art form, because you can do something like this, Zenithal Prime and contrast paints. It looks freaking cool. Like literally zero artistic skill needed. Anyone can base coat and put a wash on a mini. What's up, Jeremiah Blup? Hello there. How many of these to paint in the game? These butts, there's 6. How many minis total? I don't know, like 50-ish, somewhere in there. Hi, Mikey. Which can you bring home? Looking nice. I brought home the down camera. I was like, I might as well bring home our nicest camera, if I'm gonna do one. Okay, so there's, oh my gosh. There's that. The only problem is if I'm keeping these gloves white, I need to not hit them with this. The problem with the contrast paints is they don't cover very well, which is their entire purpose. But it also means that like if you hit something accidentally, it's probably going to show through. Show through whatever you're putting over it. So it's like, you gotta be careful. Whereas with normal paint, you don't have to be quite as careful. Okay. Get out some of that excess. I don't need quite that much definition. You're not that ripped, bruh. We're just cleaning up the pools. The pools around the feet, I'm not overly worried about because I'm going to be painting all the bases just straight black in this game. So anything like that, we can probably don't have to worry about too much. For this, I mostly just don't want it to be too ridiculous in terms of the stuff in the recesses. Otherwise, they can look a little too skeletal. Because again, these dudes seem like they're human-ish, kind of. Humanoid, at least. Okay. We're cruising, y'all. We should be able to finish all of these on stream, which is kind of my plan. Most of the things in the game are units, which means there's like, you know, anywhere between 4 and 6 of them. And so the kind of goal is to finish a unit. Did I do that in this one? No. The rough goal is to finish a unit kind of every stream. And then there's a bunch of big kind of one-offs that will probably work on on stream, but I'll probably work on them off stream as well. If I only work on them on stream, it's going to take a very long time to finish them. You can see, like, I flip my minis around a lot. It's always about getting the best kind of vantage point you can. Let me try it, Mikey. I'm such a slow painter that I'm like, I just gotta find ways to paint faster. All right. It's the upper half. It's the lower half. I can remember seeing mini painting streams way back in the day, dude. We did that one like piratey game, and then we did some Power Rangers. Heroes of the Grid. All right, one more. Yeah, that was a good time, man. That was a very good time. Super fun, actually. Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, that was back at the apartment, the second apartment set, so it was a while ago now. Right, so once we're done with this skin here, we then can move over to the blue-gray to do their little pantaloons and their little skull cap thing, and then I guess we just do the black at that point. There's not much else for us to kind of do, because the rest of the stuff, because we're only going to do the skin, the kind of clothes, the kind of black tunic and stuff, and then these kind of blue-gray parts. That's the only thing we're going to do, the contrast paints. The rest we're going to paint, because they're small enough areas where the problem with contrast paints is it's great if you need to do big areas. They're not great if you want to do small areas, because they're just too watery. Not viscous enough, man. Oh yes, viscous. Oh, Paul, look at the viscosity of that one. So for the rest of the stuff, we don't really want a super watery, if we're doing like the belt kind of across their chest here, we don't want a super watery one. That would not be good. All right, clean this up a little bit. We talking viscosity, baby? So these dudes actually skellies? Are they just into GLB ones? They're not skeletons as far as I can tell. So this is like their little card. So like this is their little card, right? So they have like skin, and like it looks like they're wearing a skull mask, but not a thing, but they're definitely sculpted just kind of as like skulls. And so I don't really know. It's one of those situations where like this is the only art I have to go off of, really. So we're kind of just guessing our way through it, but it's how it goes sometimes. All right, so now we're gonna do this blue gray. And we're gonna do their little, we're gonna do their little pants. Yeah, just paint his little pants. His undergarments, yeah. Very easy. And honestly, like, this could just be black as well, but I mostly just wanted to put, like, some color difference on the Mini because they're so monotoned. So I'm just like, well, we're going to have this one be like a very, very gray blue, but it'll be something different. So that'll be nice. It's a pretty subtle difference, but it is slightly different. It's not a lot different, but it is a little bit different. Okay. Go across their dome here. Okay. All right. And then after this, it's going to be their clothes, the rest of their clothes, which again is going to be black. We're going to do black, and we're going to add in a teensy bit of purple, because again, just so they're not just straight black, I kind of want it to almost be like a really, 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 really dark purple as opposed to just black. Again, a lot of this stuff also, these kind of like very small changes in like hue, you can't really see on camera, especially because like you're just getting blasted by this light right here. So one thing I want to do is like, I think we have some old studio lights still in the studio. I want to bring them back here. I would basically love to be able to paint without this light, at least on camera. Like, this is really nice for me to paint by, but it's not, that's the best viewing experience to be having my head right here and the Mini getting absolutely just face blasted by a very, very bright, very expensive light. Yeah, make it look like the art, exactly, Mikey. And it's like, I'm taking some liberties, but like, it's just, they're so, the art's so monotoned. We out here. Mikey, did y'all go to Gunther's? All right. Last pantaloons. Again, if you are trying to go quick, things like speed paints, contrast paints, they are pretty darn great. I'm not going to lie. Although, get speed paints, don't get contrast paints. Contrast paints are worse and significantly more expensive. Trying to figure out also where the best place to be for y'all is. Yeah, sir. So yummy. Eric and Indican. Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. Ice cream does sound great. It is so hot in Sacramento, y'all. My gosh. Jeremiah, are you using the ring lamp with the magnifying lens? No, I'm using, I don't remember what it's called. It's basically a big bar. Let me see if I might be able to angle my webcam at it. Hold on. Let me see. Probably not. Oh, God. Sorry, I smacked my whole thing. Yeah, so actually you can see it. So it's like this. It's like this big bar light. It's very, very bright. Has like 3 brightness settings, and it sits above here. My camera is attached to it. Yeah, it's really nice. It's really, really nice light. A lot of mini painters use this light, but it's not the cheapest light on the planet. I think it's like $120, but it is for mini paint, because basically mini painting, like, again, it's tough for the audience, because again, this is just getting absolutely destroyed by the light. And like, I can turn my f-stops down, but then it's just like, it's darkening everything. It's hard to like just knock down the whites. I might be able to do that like in post, but either way, it is a little bit tough. But it's a very good light for mini painting. Very, very good. Very, very good light. If you mini paint a lot like I do, it is pretty much worth every penny. Not sponsored, but sponsor me, whoever makes this light. All right, so now we're gonna do their kind of clothing, the rest of their clothing here, which again, it's gonna be black. This is a little too much black. I want it to be, I also might thin this down a teeny bit. I want it to be a little bit more purple, and I want it to be slightly less black. But we'll see. And I'm guessing that music is not too loud because no one has complained about it. So if y'all know, chat be complaining sometimes. All right, so we're gonna take, this was too much. So I am a very, very big pulling way too much paint out person. I always bring out way more paint than I ever need. Now granted, it's still a tiny amount comparatively, but like, I did not need that much skin tone. Sure didn't. All right, so we're gonna do, these will look like the exact same color, but I promise you they are not. Yeah, let's just go like 50-50. Is that even noticeable? It's so dark, you can't even tell. Is it noticeable, the purple? Not really. Purple, I probably should have started with the purple and added a little bit of black, and that was it. It's got a little bit of purple in it. All right, we're going to add a little bit of my thinner. This is just flow enhancer and a little bit of thinner that I mostly use for, I use it for airbrushes, thinning out paint for airbrushes, but I will sometimes use it for this. Just thin it out a little bit. This is also probably way too much. Okay, actually, no, I think it's gonna be a really, really dark purple. This actually might be fine. Hope it's not too purple. We're gonna find out in a moment, eh? Oh, it's pretty purple. How purple is it? You take a little sip of that or what, dude, right? Getting a little bit lit. Oh, this is pretty purple. And quite a bit thinner. Oof. I might need to add some more black to this. This thinned it out way more than I was expecting. Wow. Yeah, that's a little, that now it's way too thin. Crap. All right. I haven't worked with contrast paints very much. Actually, very, very little. So I don't really know the best practices yet. So, okay, so a little bit of that thinner goes, wow, quite a long ways. Oh, man, this is still super thin. I didn't even add that much. I had like 3 little drops. Ooh. All right. Well, let's do this one at least, and then we'll kind of see. If we need to, we can always just reapply something over it. It isn't a big deal. Also, you got to learn your paints and kind of how they dry. Like I know that almost all red paints will dry significantly darker than they look. So a lot of times you'll put a red paint on and be like, "Oh my gosh, it's too bright, it's too bright, it's too bright." And then like it'll dry much darker. So you just kind of got to learn that, like what of your paints dry to what color level. So this might dry slightly darker. I honestly don't know. I don't think it's gonna. And it's much more purple. Maybe a little too purple. That's why we experiment. Okay. All right. Let's take out the really egregious pooling. This might just be a 2-coater. Because the one up top here is basically 2 coats, and that looks pretty good actually. Yeah, actually, I like that. It's not nearly as like dark black as this, but I kind of like it more. Also, because it's not completely black, you can see the definition better. You can see like the ripples in the fabric. Okay, we're gonna go with that. Screw it. Who's gonna stop me? All right, don't hit his gloves, Nick. Those gloves we're trying to keep white, so I need to not hit their gloves. I need to not hit anything that is already painted. I need to not hit anything that needs to stay light or is already painted. Anything else we can, because anything else we're going to cover up with normal paint, which will cover up the contrast paint really easily, so we don't have to worry about that. We don't want to hit the skin because that's already painted, and we don't want to hit like the white gloves because we're leaving them white. So I need to be kind of careful. All right. It's been a little while since we played Dark Tower, Mikey. We got to get back on it. I really enjoyed the times we played. So the Dark Tower is like the tower itself is just one of the coolest things in all of board games, really. Okay, yeah, I really like this a lot. Glad we went with this. Go with your gut, you know. Sometimes you're like, man, just feel like that's gonna work. I hate that. I do hope everyone had a good week. I didn't realize your holder actually holds onto the hexagon base. It does. This holder kind of holds on to everything, which is great. These are 3D printed. You can't really see, but right. Oh, you can't see it. That's our 3D printer. So I printed these bases out, and yeah, they kind of hold on to whatever, which is really good. They hold on like square bases, these kind of weird hexagon bases, circle bases. They're really, really nice. And they kind of alleviate the problem that I have with mini painting holders in that there we go. Jesus. I have a tendency to really squeeze on the mini painting holder because I'm just focusing on what I'm doing and I'm just holding it really tightly. And so these ones are great because the way you tighten them is by spinning this, and this is all automatically 3D printed in. So you can see it'll get kind of smaller. So basically I can like put this in here and go like and this one actually has little notches, so it like really fits the hexagon. But you can also do it like this, and like that'll hold it just fine like that, no problem. But the cool thing is I can kind of like tighten it pretty well, and then that's it. That's as tight as it holds it. And so it's constant pressure, but it's not constantly trying to push in farther. This is the holder I would use for a long time. This old Citadel one, I got this at like Gen Con for free. They were giving it away. So this one is a good holder. Like I really grip this one, whereas these ones, I kind of hold my holders like this. I really grip them in my mitt. So this one is fine. I actually like the way this one holds my hand, but I really like circle the top when I do this. And the problem with this one is spring loaded. So instead of being like this, where they are just tightly held on there, but it's not constantly trying to close tighter. With this one, because it's spring loaded, it's always trying to close. And my problem is because I hold the holder like this, I'm also squeezing this way a lot. So not only is there pressure because this is constantly trying to close harder, which is how it holds it, to be fair, I'm also putting even more pressure because I have a tendency to squeeze this like this. So with something like a Marvel United Mini that is kind of thin plastic underneath, when I have this one on like this, it's constantly pushing in on this. And then again, I'm squeezing in on this. And so when I was painting, not Scarlet Witch, Scarlett Johansson, what's her character's name? Black Widow. when I was painting Black Widow, I didn't even realize it. When I was done painting it, the base was warped. Like it was warped like this, like it was like this, like that. So it was, you know, instead of being flat, it was kind of going like this because the whole thing was warped. It was able to flatten out over time, but that was specifically because this thing was constantly putting pressure on it, and it was in the, I wasn't painting much, so it was in this holder for like a month. And so it was constantly putting pressure on it. And then whenever I was painting, I was squeezing it. And again, it ended up being fine. But I really like these ones. One, because they're 3D printed. I can just print out, like right now I have 5 of these, but like I could print out 50 if I wanted to. And because they use this kind of spinny system to hold on, I can tighten them so they're nice and tight and they're not going to move, you know, off there. But it's not ever putting more pressure on them. And if I'm pushing on this, like really squeezing it, it's not pushing these pegs. So it's really, really nice. I like these a lot. They're too skinny on the bottom. They're too floppy. And so I want to print maybe like little bigger feet for them, but they're very nice and I like them a lot. And again, they're just 3D printed for free. Someone made them, was like, here, if you want to use these, everybody, here they are. So I really like them, and they hold on to a lot of different kind of bases really well. And then people, of course, have remixed them and kind of done their own thing with them and stuff. So there's even more variations. Because one thing is like they can't hold a super big base, but people have made variations that can hold bigger bases. So very cool. One of the reasons why I like 3D printing is because I just love the kind of, hey, I made this thing. You guys can print it out too if you want to. I just think it's a very cool joint venture that everyone's kind of on. Especially like, you know, board gamers, we're nerds, so we like things like mini paints. So there's just like tons of incredibly good board game inserts that people just make and then just put online for free, being like, hey, print this out if you want to. It's just awesome. It's awesome, man. So yeah, so I really like these holders. Feel good in the hand, easy to hold on to. And they're not going to crush the bases of my minis, which I'm bad at. So, ooh, that was way too much. All right. Yeah, I like these guys. I was gonna put like a second coat on them. I don't know if I will. I kind of just like them like this. I think they look really nice. Just realized I definitely did not paint that part on that mini. I did on this one. Okay. Sorry. Start getting in the zone and forget to keep myself on camera. All right, so that is that. So again, I think I'm gonna keep the gloves and the skull just white. I might come back through with some white paint and give them some more highlights so that it's a little bit more intentional. But we're basically on to the belt. They have kind of a crap. Did I do that on every single one? I think I did. I definitely missed part of the pants. I did this last time I was painting these guys too. Like right above the belt, their pants kind of come above their belt, and so I need to hit that part, or else it's gonna be weird. This is gonna be weird, man. Okay. Quick fix, luckily. Okay. All right. All right, there's that. All right, now belts. I don't like the base coat I did for the belt. I'll do this instead for my little test model. So instead, I'm going to do a slightly darker. Slightly darker base coat. All right, so we have the belt on their pants. All right, Flycatcher. It's just to watch. I'm glad. Appreciate it. Go kick the crap out of hubby and Castle Burgundy again, yeah? So this is the part we're doing this with normal paint, so we gotta be careful. I apparently just missed an area with all right here. Just didn't paint it, apparently. Very odd. So I gotta be careful because now if I paint on top of the contrast paint, it's not really gonna be easy / all that possible to cover it up, because contrast paint by its nature is translucent. So it's like you kind of can't cover it up once you hit it with something, and so you got to be a little careful at this point, but I'm not overly worried about it. If you got a little bit of spillover, it's like no one really notice. But I do their scabbard. So this is going to be like this brown. We will do one highlight with it, and then that's going to be it. It's going to be a very, very simple. Very simple scabbard because it's a scabbard. It does not need to be nice. Scabbards and belts are great. No. All right. Here's the base coat for that friend. Okay. Sweet. Oh. Oh man. Played a lot of disc golf today, so my shoulders are cramping up on me here. All right. And if anyone has any questions or anything, feel free to let me know. If not, enjoy the music and enjoy the painting. Okay. Lurch, what's up? I'm playing Kanban EV for the first time tomorrow. Any tips? I'm not very good at Kanban EV. Any tips? Gosh, I don't know how much you know about the game, but throughout the game you'll be getting these like meetings, and you can like put forth, I guess, scoring. It's scoring stuff for those meetings. Pick a couple of those that you really want to focus on and try and do those. There'll be a decent amount of points. Otherwise, just like try to do what you can and have fun. I mean, it's kind of it is a big game. There's a lot going on. So it's like, it's a big game with a lot going on. So have a great time. Let us know what you think of it, because it's one of our favorites. I like it a lot. I've cooled on it a teensy bit. Talked about that during our BGG Top 100 tier list that we did. But still do really like it. Just remember that the game is very linear. So you kind of do things in order, right? You have to get a design, and then you have to get parts, and then you have to use those parts to make the cars, and the cars have to get pushed out into the test track, and then you have to go test them. It's a very linear game, so kind of start at the beginning of that line and work your way forward, and just try and kind of see what you can do, and avoid Susan. She's tough. She's a real tough cookie. But yeah, and don't slack too much on getting those certifications that Susan or Sharon, whatever her name is, Susan, I think it's Susan, whatever her name is, your boss, the one that she's constantly harping on you to get these little tracks. You'll have to bump up those tracks. Definitely do that, because it basically mitigates her completely, and you just get better stuff. I always kind of ignore them and then just get absolutely bodied by Susan Sharon all the time. So don't neglect them like Nick does. Like one of those not very sexy part of the game, in terms of like, it's not like the fun, cool thing to do, but you need to do it. So, yeah. So, do it. All right. That's the first layer of the belt. We're then going to come through. Is it too much to go straight to this? I am guessing that it is. Maybe not. Not if I keep it pretty thin. Ooh, yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, that's a little too light. Probably don't need it to be quite that light for a highlight. For base, just doing a quick dab or two on like each little section. That's it. Not worrying about, you know, tons of lighting and all that kind of crap. These are meant to be tabletop minis and nothing else. They don't need to be competition worthy. We're just going for tabletop, which is basically means if it looks good on the tabletop when you're, you know, away from it, then it's fine. It doesn't need to be any better than that because you're never looking at it as close as I am looking at this one right now. So you just need it to be tabletop ready. Tabletop standard. Again, we're always working under the context and the assumption that our light source is coming more or less from here, so that is why basically if it's pointing upwards, it'll be lighter. Okay. Okay. All right, so that's gonna be our belt. Sorry. Now let's go ahead and do. Let's get. Yeah, we're gonna get this very, very, very light gray, wolf gray here. It's almost white, and we're gonna use this to touch up the gloves and put a little bit of accents on the like face skull thing. And then I think it's gonna be like The weapons? Also, God, I missed another part here. Keep seeing crap I missed. And then I think it's gonna be the weapons and they're like shoulder pauldron armor. And then y'all, we done, baby. Just a little bit. Uh-oh. This. We're going to touch up the gloves. If there's any part that we kind of missed. Or rather, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, everybody. Oh. Gloves, God, that one looks okay. And then just a little bit on the face. Mostly what I want to do is hit right above their eyes. Just hit. Just to make those eye sockets in there just deeper. Yeah, it's like deepen those eye sockets, touch up the gloves. Put some stank on that face. Nice. Yeah, it's this. This is looking nice. Yeah, see, this is one where you need a little touch up. Smack these gloves a little bit too much. Not so much this one. It's only the other one. All right. Now add a little stank to this face. This particular one was very good. The Zenithal Prime definitely did its job. That one only needed a little bit of stank. That's it. You gotta love it. You only need a little stank. Okay. Stank time. Right. Touch up. Okay. Let's add that stank. Nice. Okay, y'all. I think we're gonna do weapons. first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of pure black Templar, and I'm just going to do like the hilt of their sword, the very back end, the part they're holding on to, just black. And then we're going to do silver on the two swords. So I'm basically going to put black back here where that little hilt is. And then we're going to do like silver. Yeah, and then I think we're going to do these little things on the back of their scabbard here in gold to give them that little bit of gold filigree. And these are filigronious lads, as they would say in France. Let's also not smack these gloves, Nick. You gotta go all the way upside down for this one. Okay. Again, don't be afraid to turn your handle and all that kind of stuff around. The more you get used to like flipping and blipping, the better. Because it's just going to give you the kind of angles that will allow you to be successful. Okay. All right. Get some. Oh my god. Oh. Let's get some silver on this boy. Oh. do I have? Not really. All right, we're gonna do silver, but I'm gonna do kind of two blops of this, because one, I'm gonna add some black ink to. What's up, Type Dusp? What's up? Cool watching on Twitch. Yeah, we used to stream on Twitch all the time. But since I want to do some mini painting on YouTube, I was kind of like, well, I might as well simul stream. There's just no real reason not to. So we're gonna make, you can't really see it, but we're making a kind of a dark silver for this. And then we'll do a highlight with that really bright silver. All right. Oh. Type, what you been playing lately? What have you been into? Okay. I don't know if we're going to do a highlight, honestly. I'm trying to think if I should. I probably should try. I just don't know. Is this a brighter silver? Yeah, I'll use this silver instead. It's like, I don't know if this original silver I have here is going to even show up really in any kind of noticeable way on this. The answer to that question, I think, is no. So, we shall use a brighter silver. So, Lurch, played a lot of GOT 5 recently. Quick deduction day. I've heard good things about GOT 5. I gotta try that one out because, yeah, I've heard really, really good things about that. I have been playing a bunch of Cloudspire lately. A ton of Cloudspire. Did a playthrough on our channel. And I had to play a bunch kind of in preparation for that. And I've been really enjoying it. I've always wanted to play it. And on the mini painting front, I am going to be painting the spires from Cloudspire on stream at some point. Not entirely sure when. Because I really want to paint them because they're cool. But yeah, I've been hearing outstanding things about GOT 5. And Mike, Jimmy and I recently played Nucleum again. And I'm like, man, I really like Nucleum. Whoop. Sorry about bumping you with my head. Shoot, I knew this was going too fast. I've been forgetting to do their damn pauldrons. Only complaint that only plays 4. Should have gone to 5 given the name. That is really weird given that name. Given that name, it just seems like it would go to 5, right? That's so funny. Yeah, fair complaint, if I'm being completely honest. It's like 5 tribes only going to 4. Wait. It does only go to 4. It's weird. I forgot that I need to do their freaking pauldrons. The last couple of swords, I was like, man, this is going so fast, this part. Because I was forgetting to do a whole portion of them. Five tribes only goes to 2, at least in our house. Yeah, I definitely hear you there. 5 tribes is a 2-player game in my head. Excellent 2-player game, but a 2-player game only. All right, there we go. All right, so let's put a little bit of this bright silver on here. And then it's just going to be that little bit of gold filigree. And then we done, y'all. Although I kind of need to touch up this guy, but he was my little test model, so I want to change out some of the colors on him. But I'll do that. I'll do that later. All right. Just need a little bit of this. Damn! Oh no, it popped open. Shoot. I just got about that much silver when I needed a dab of it, so that's good. We're basically just putting this on the edges. Give them a little bit of swing, you know. And kind of dab on the tops of these pauldrons. Hit them rivets and such. So hyped, I just lost like half my bottle. So cool. It is hard to tell this is doing something, but it is, I promised you. All right. That silver is done. And absolutely all over my palette. Terrible. All right. Little bit of gold. Filigree. We're calling these butts done. What time I start? We're not even at 2 hours? Yo, for me, y'all, that's like blistering fast. Me basically painting like 5 to 6 guys in 2 hours is insane. When I usually spend like an hour and a half or 2 on one person. All right, so yeah, so we're just kind of doing these bands on the back here in this gold. Again, I kind of want gold on all of the minis somewhere because there's gold kind of everywhere in the art. There's a lot of gold accents and stuff. I figured these little bands plus this like cap, which looks, it's sculpted like it's a separate piece. So we'll turn this gold as well. Give them a little bit of shine. So it'll look like that. That's a nice, I think, a nice accent, a nice touch. That'll be good. Going too quick because I'm at the end here. Touch it back up. Goodness, man. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. And that is the Oryx, I guess, what the hell the name is. All right. All right. Oh, they turned out pretty good. Yeah, that's definitely tabletop standard. All right, y'all. I'm going to get on out of here then. Thank you for hanging out with me while I paint. Been really enjoying doing these. And I like it because it's keeping me painting, which is lovely. Next time, who knows what we'll be doing? Probably more Dark Tower. I got so many more to paint. So we'll figure that out. But I hope y'all have a great rest of your evening and weekend. And I'm going to get on out of here. I hope y'all have a good time the rest of your weekend. Well, thank you, Lurch. Appreciate it. And I hope y'all have a good one. All right, bye. Okay, the YouTube audience is gone, Twitch. We can talk about